What up, guys? This is Derek Larger, and today I will be talking to you guys about the NBA trade deadline, which occurred at 3 p.m. today. Now, I will talk to you guys about a few things before we get into that. One being my good friend Patrick McLean, who asked me to talk about the topic of European players coming into the NBA and taking over. Well, first thing I'd like to say, Patrick, is that probably isn't really happening yet. Not yet, I should say. I'd say there's more Canadian and Australian players that are in the NBA right now and are making a bigger impact than some European players. Now, European players and countries are starting to adopt the NBA style and are starting to play a lot more efficiently. But it may take a little bit longer before any real European players come in and make a big impact on an NBA team and the organization itself. So another couple things to talk about before the deadline. Before I talk about the deadline, the Cardinals will be facing the Cowboys in the 2017 Canton Hall of Fame game on August 3rd. And Charles Oakley is planning to attend the Cleveland and Knicks game tonight in Cleveland. And Dan Gilbert has given Oakley a chance to sit two rows behind him. And I'm pretty sure that's taking a shot at James Dolan for, obviously, his mistreatment of Charles Oakley. So I definitely look forward to looking at the Cavs game tonight, possibly looking at where that story goes. So, let's start with this morning. The first one I got at 11:54 a.m. this morning was the breaking news of the Mavericks acquiring center Nerlens Noel from the 76ers for Andrew Bogut, Justin Anderson, and a conditional first-round pick. Now, obviously, neither one of these is really going to help the other team get any closer to the playoffs, but I do think it's good for the Mavericks to get that rim protector, and the 76ers also my mistake. The Mavericks are getting that playmaker that they need offensively, and Bogut's going to be that rim protector along with Joel Embiid. It's a pretty evened out trade. That was the first trade of the day. It was one of the only few. So I also heard a buzz report about how the Nuggets made a monster offer to Pacers for Paul George, but the talks gained no traction at all. Now, the big reason for that is it's believed that Larry Bird was the big reason why Paul George didn't leave, because Larry Bird wants to keep Paul George. Everyone else was saying, let's be open to trades here. But Larry Bird was firm in saying he did not want to get rid of Paul George for anything at all. My take on this is that Paul George will be wanting to go to the Lakers in this offseason because he said he was hell-bent on going to the Lakers. So that's something to look forward to later on. And one of the most recent ones is the Bulls traded Taj Gibson and Doug McDermott and a 2018 second-round draft pick to the Thunder for guard Cameron Payne and center Joffrey Laverne. And I believe that this is a good trade by the Thunder. You acquired a forward who can spread the floor. McDermott has the ability to shoot and can play inside if you want him to. And Taj Gibson is definitely an enforcer on the inside with his aggression. This obviously does not help the Thunder when it comes to their guard situation, which is one thing they need now. But it definitely does help solidify the inside. So now I think the next step for the Thunder is to acquire some guards. And the Bulls getting Payne and Jeffrey, it was decent. You got yourself a bench player. but it doesn't help the fact that the Bulls still need. Now they got rid of basically their number one big man besides Robin Lopez, but we'll see how that plays out later on. And the only other trade that I saw so far was the Suns traded P.J. Tucker to the Raptors, who the Cavs were interested in at first, but haven't gotten anywhere, for Jared Sullinger and 2 future second-round picks. We'll see how that turns out when it comes to the second-round picks later on. But I think it was definitely a good addition for the Raptors, and it gave the Suns a chance to get a few guys to help them out later on, because they know they're not going to win much this season. So far, it's been a boring deadline. There wasn't much that happened. Kevin Love didn't go anywhere. Carmelo didn't go anywhere. Paul George didn't go anywhere, even though there was major talks about him leaving. Jimmy Butler didn't go anywhere. Blake Griffin didn't go anywhere. So I will continue to update you on these types of trades as it goes on. But there's not a whole lot more to today. I was expecting a lot of one major trade, but there was none today. So for any of you NBA fans that were looking for something great to happen, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait another day. So this wraps up this video, but don't worry, Saturday, I remind you, I will have my friend Jacob on the show Saturday, and we will be talking about a couple of other topics, including the controversial speech that Jameis Winston gave to a couple of young kids over yesterday, and a couple of other issues that are going on, and I will continue to let you guys know as that goes along. I'm Derek Larger. Until next time, peace.